In this video, I will show you how to do part 2 of the BartVFX Instagram reel. A lot of you guys have been asking for this and I thought, why not just go for it? And like always, you can download the assets that I'm using for free in the description down below. Now let's just jump into it. I'm gonna use this video that I recorded and you can also download this in the asset pack. But before I do need to add captions. Now, of course, we can do this in After Effects, but actually there is a better way. And this secret software I use with every client, so I'm excited to show you. And I actually got you guys a discount code for this software. It's in the description too. It's called Submagic and I can just drag this video into it. I can select any of these languages and then I can just type the name of the video. I'll keep it A-roll for now. And then I'm just gonna press upload. It will take a couple seconds and it will open this page. And here we can select any of these themes. Iman Gadji is in here, Alex Hormozi, but also Ali Abdal. For now, I'm just gonna press on Iman. Now let's play it, and as you can see, the captions are absolutely perfect. They even have this cool effect, but we can also go for the Ali Abdal style and then play it, and this is also a really cool effect. Now I can of course customize it here. I'm just gonna go again for Iman because I like that style. Color is fine, but you can also go into the edit theme section, then even change the font, add a stroke, maybe even adding emojis, and I can go into the captions to maybe change the text if I want to. We can even add B-rolls and magic B-rolls. I'm not gonna do that for now, I'm just gonna use this. And now normally you can go to export. And this is handy, for example, if you do this at the end, but now I just want the captions. So we can go into more and then export only subtitles. And when we press that, it will export. Again, will take a couple seconds. And then I get this file, I can just download it. I'm just gonna import it into my After Effects file. It's the same length as our video. I'll add a simple key light to it. And I'm gonna key the background out. And there we go, we have our captions over our video. Not only that, we also have them separated so we can adjust the scaling. We didn't have to do anything manually in terms of timing in After Effects. So this saves a ton of time. Again, discount code is in the description. Now, looking at the BartVFX video, we already did this part, but we haven't done this part and then this part where it goes into a guy with post-its. Then it shows this cool grid animation. It moves to the right, shows this cool animation with a guy walking on a tightrope. And then I hope I still have time for this in this tutorial, or maybe I need a part 3 for the last part, where it goes into this illustration, it goes into the A-roll, and then later on you see this AI animation with a cool glitch effect. Now, first things first, I'm gonna add the hourglass to my A-roll video, which is this one. And I already have a hourglass.png. And this is a really cool effect that you can use for any icon. We just have a PNG image and I'm gonna go to layer, then auto trace, then press OK. We'll go to layer, auto trace, and then I'll set the tolerance to 2 pixels. The blur I'll set to off and just press OK. You can also test out with these settings. Now let's just delete the hourglass PNG. So we just have this shape. Now I'm gonna add a stroke to this, a generate stroke. I'm gonna press all mask and I'm gonna uncheck the stroke sequentially. I'm gonna paint style it on transparent. And now we have these really cool lines. Now I can of course increase the brush size. I can also change the color to, for example, red or maybe like a darker red, something like this. And what's cool now is that we can animate it. We can just hit the keyframe for the end. I'm gonna open our layer and I'm gonna open our effects panel and open our stroke. And there we see our keyframe. I'm just gonna move this out and I'm now gonna set the end to 0%. Now, as you can see, it will animate in and it's a really cool effect already. Now, of course, we need to adjust the timing maybe a bit. I can also, of course, ease it and also, of course, make it quicker. For now, I'm just gonna change the quality to quarter so it goes a bit quicker, and I'm gonna turn off our video so you can really see what's happening here. As you can see, this really cool effect, and again, you can use this with any PNG. You can also add a deep glow, but a normal glow will work fine. I'm gonna press T for transparency. I'm gonna lower the opacity a bit, and I'm also gonna scale this down and maybe rotate it a bit and maybe move it to the left. And this doesn't have to be 3D yet. If you want to, you can. And then I'm just gonna turn the video back on and I think like around here should be fine. It's actually quite cool because there's some red light on the left of my face anyway. Now, of course, we want to put it behind me. And the best way to do this is with auto trace. Now, of course, you can mask this manually if you want to, but you can also just click on the footage, go into the auto trace or the roto brush, and then we can just double click on our footage But before we do, I'm just gonna see the timing. Let's see, we don't have to rotor brush everything. Let's start from here. Now split the layer, and you do that by doing Command-Shift-D or Control-Shift-D on Windows. It will split it in half, and then we can just double click on the bottom one, and then again go into the rotor brush tool. And while you do this, this will make it way quicker. Because if we now draw on basically what we want to keep, which is my face, it should select it. If it doesn't, that's totally fine. Now you can see it selected the whole video. We don't want that. So if you hold Alt, you can remove parts and basically draw what you don't want. And that works, just not perfectly. I just need to add a bit of my hair here. Let's see. There we go. And this doesn't have to be perfect because especially the left side here is important. Now what you can do is just press the spacebar to play it, and it will render basically the rotor brush. And as you can see, it will perfectly do it. So make sure that it's freeze. So press freeze and it will get cold in here. And let's go back to our composition. Now you can see that it cut it out perfectly. Is exactly what we want. Can also turn on the transparency to show you that it really did. And now of course duplicate this layer by pressing Command D or Control D on Windows. Then make sure the audio of one of each is off, otherwise you will have double audio. And then I'm gonna delete the rotor brush from the bottom layer. Now you think nothing has happened, and that's true, but we can now place our hourglass in between these. And basically what this will do is make sure that the top layer will be above it. Now let's drag this layer a bit more to the front so we can really see what's happening here. And as you can see, it perfectly hides behind me. And that's exactly what we want. Now let's go to our first animation. As you can see, this post-it guy comes up with some captions, and I already generated this image from ChatGPT. And now we'll show you quickly on how to cut something out and to prepare this image for After Effects. Now later on, I'm also gonna do this with this one, but it will be exactly the same. So I opened Photoshop, I opened our image. Now I'm just gonna use the object selection tool. Make sure the mode is set on lasso. Maybe I don't even need to, it already recognizes the object, so I can just click it once and it should select it. Perfect. Now I'm just gonna right click it and layer via copy. So we have basically a copy. Then I'm gonna hold Command or Control on Windows to select our top layer. Then I'm gonna select the bottom layer and I'm gonna go to select, modify, expand. And expand by 15 pixels should be fine. And we do this so there's some room around the layer, so Photoshop basically can have some room to play with. And then we're just gonna press generate a fill and press generate. Now sometimes you have to do this a couple times to get a nice end result, but in my case I think it did a really good job. There are some alternative variations. Let's see what it did here. Actually, maybe I like the second or even the third one better. Yes, let's keep it with the third one. And then when I enable the layer back, you can see that it's perfectly cut it out. Now the only thing we have to do is combine the bottom two layers. So you can select them holding Shift, then right click and then merge layers. You can also name this background. And like I said, you have to do this with the other image too. We can just save this as a Photoshop file and go back to After Effects. Now make sure that when you import it, you use the composition retain layer sizes, press open, and it will create a composition. We double click it, and as you can see, we have our composition and we can move the front and we can move the back. And I'm just gonna keep working in this composition. And later on, this will all make sense. First, I'm gonna make them 3D. And of course, I'm gonna add a new camera. So layer new camera. I'm gonna use a 2-node camera because later on we might have to use this. And the preset I'm gonna set to 50mm. Press OK. And now let's add some depth to our image. And the best way to do this is to just go into the background, press P for position, and then just move it to the back. Then press S for scale, and we're just gonna scale it up. Something like this. Then I'm gonna link the camera to a null object. And people that are in my masterclass, they also know a secret technique to do this even better. But for now, we're gonna link the camera to the null object, and I make sure that the null object is 3D. Now I'm gonna keyframe the position. I'm gonna move that out, and let's then zoom it in. Maybe go a bit to the left of him, maybe a bit down, something like that. Maybe even a bit further. And I'm just gonna press R for rotation on our camera. And I'm gonna keyframe the Z rotation. Let's set it to 0. And let's also see if this works. Works pretty fine. Maybe end a bit with it zoomed in still, something like this. So we have our first animation, and I'm just gonna select all of our keyframes and then right click and then easy ease on the keyframe assistant. And I'm also gonna increase the speed, and I'm gonna make sure that our motion blur is set on both of our layers. Now let's play this. And this is a really cool animation already. I really like this. Now maybe I'm gonna move this out a bit. I'm gonna go into the graph editor and I'm gonna drag this out so there's a bit more movement in it. Really cool. I really like it. Now going back to our main composition, we can just drag this post-it now in it. Do make sure it covers the whole composition. The best way to do this is right clicking and then going into transform fit to comp. There we go. And I'm just gonna press T for transparency and then keyframe the opacity so it basically fades into our video, just like this. And now if we need captions, we already generated them. We can easily just copy them, or if you want to do the lazy way, you can of course just put them over everything and that's it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy this over. So I'm just gonna copy this text, basically our captions. I'm gonna turn off the graph editor and I'm gonna paste it. I'm gonna add a marker where our layer starts, and I'm just gonna copy this and I'm gonna go into our post-it, paste it. Now of course we have this marker, I can just move it over, make sure it's aligned well, and then let's see where we want the text. I think the text here could be cool. So I'm just gonna make it 3D, and I think it's already placed quite well. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, this looks so cool. I really like this. Of course, turn the motion blur on and we'll have a lot of continuous captions going on, as you can see. And we didn't even have to animate these layers, link them all or do anything. Now we basically got our first scene. Of course, we can add some glow to it, maybe scale the captions a bit, but we can always do that later. If we go back to our inspiration, you can see it goes from the post-it to basically zooming out into the next scene, which is a dark city background, and then the grid and also a couple of videos. And of course the caption. And then it goes to the next scene, but we'll go into that later on. So first what I'm gonna do is zoom in a bit, so we basically have a bit more room to play with. And then I'm gonna scale down the caption. So just pressing S on the caption, making sure that it's in the center. I'll also move the null object a bit, something like that. And I'm happy with this. Now in the last part, I'm just gonna zoom it out, maybe to something like this. And then maybe we have to scale up the background layer a bit. Now I'm gonna add the grid and the image that we generated. Let's make them both 3D. And I'm gonna select both the layers and then I'm gonna right click and I'll do transform fit to comp. Now I'm gonna select both layers. I'm gonna put the grid on top of the other one, by the way. And I'm just gonna move it towards the camera. And let's see if there's enough depth to this. I do think so. We can always adjust it a bit later. So let's now add motion blur to it. And I'm gonna basically press T for transparency on the grid. I'm gonna move this keyframe out there. And I'm gonna set this to maybe 0, maybe a bit higher, so it's already a bit darker. You know what, we'll start with 30%. And then with the other layer, I'm just gonna set the opacity to. I'm gonna move this out a bit, and I'm gonna move a couple of keyframes back, turn the opacity down. And basically what will happen now, as you can see, it will zoom out and this next layer will be visible. And let's play this. I'm gonna turn the quality off or to quarter. Let's play this and let's see what happens. Really cool. The only thing that I see is that the grid should be turned off first. So I'm just gonna cut that off. Let's see what this looks like. I really like it. I'm just gonna adjust the keyframes a bit here. Let's see what this looks like. Even better. Let's move this out a bit. Perfect. Now I'm just gonna click on this middle keyframe, go into the curve editor, and what I'm just gonna make sure that basically there's continuous movement. As you can see, it really stops now. We don't want that. Basically what I want is a continuous flow. And that's always the trick with this 3D style. So we can just move this up, and you might have to move it up double. So something like this. And let's see what this is gonna look like. And now I'm gonna drag this out a bit and let's play this. And as you can see, there's continuous movement. It slows down a bit here, but it almost directly goes to the next frame where we have this cool effect. Now the timing of the grid is a bit off. I think the beginning of the grid is a really cool effect and we're missing that now. So I'm just gonna move this a bit to something like this. And I'm also gonna cover it up a bit because it doesn't cover it fully. Now what you might have noticed in the original is that there's some distortion, and that's always a thing to add. We can of course always do that later on. I think it's nice to do it later on because then we can just do it on everything. So for now, I want to add some footage here. And for now, I'm just gonna add the A roll that I already used before. We can just make it 3D. And then I'm just gonna press P for position. And I will make sure that it's moved really close, maybe a bit closer like this. Then press S for scale to basically scale it down. And then we can move this a bit. We can press R for rotation, add maybe a bit of rotation like that. Maybe scale it down a bit more. Of course, turn the sound off. And this looks pretty cool. Now we can always add a color grade or a tint to this to make it even cooler. I think a tint could work because it basically fits the style a bit more. And now for the others, we can just duplicate this, press P for position, maybe move it a bit more to the front, more to the left, scale it down a bit, press R for rotation, then rotate this a bit. Can even move it like this. Let's see what this looks like. As you can see, there's a lot of movement going. I like that. Maybe I'm gonna press P again for position. I'm gonna move this even a bit further, something like that. See, really cool. I dig it. Now, of course, we need our captions back. And the cool thing is that we still have those here at the bottom. I can just duplicate it, put it on top of everything, and just press P for position and just make sure that it's around the same parameters as the other objects. You can also just open the other one and see what it looks like. Minus 1300. I'm just going to copy and paste that. And then we'll basically move it to the front. Maybe it's a bit too big, so we can scale it down. But what is cool is that there's even some depth to this layer. Now, what I do want to make sure that basically this layer isn't active in the beginning. So I'm just going to hit Alt and then left bracket to cut this off. And I'm also going to make sure that there's motion blur to our layers that we just added. And then we have this, and that's a really cool effect. I'm really happy with this. To be honest, I think there's even a bit too much fast motion in the beginning. Again, we can always change that by going into this keyframe and then seeing basically what happens here. As you can see, it ramps up pretty high. So we can drag this other one a bit so there's some more smooth motion. Let's play it. I really like it. And now for the next scene, it basically swooshes to the right. Maybe he used Animation Composer for this. Not sure, but we can just duplicate this grid, move this a bit to the right, so at least there's a bit more space here. Now I have the other Photoshop layer, which is with the tightrope. I'm just gonna copy this over to our main composition, to our animation composition, and I'm just gonna paste this. I'll make it 3D, just press P for position, and then of course move it towards the camera. Just make sure it's somewhat the same or similar position, and then I'm just gonna move this to the right. And now let's move the null object. So it basically moves this to the right, something like that. Perfect. Now, a couple things I do have to do is first I'm going to scale up the background layer a bit. And what I'm also going to do is the front layer. I'm just going to press P for position and make sure that it's more towards the camera. And I'm going to scale it down a bit. And let's see what this movement now looks like. It's cool. Of course, add motion blur to this. That's cool. Something like that. Now I'm just gonna make sure that there's no overlap. So let's move this layer a bit. Let's move this layer a bit. And let's move this layer a bit. Let's play it again. Yeah, camera ends a bit too far now. So let's move the null object a bit. Something like that. There we go. I really like that. What I do want to do also is I'm gonna drag this keyframe a bit closer so the movement goes way quicker, something like that. I'm gonna scale the background up a bit more, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that the last keyframe basically slows down a bit. So I'm gonna go into the graph editor and let's drag this out a bit, and let's make sure that this handle is fully dragged out. Something like this. I really like this. Now, of course, we can also add some more like a rounded effect to it by placing the objects more in a circle. But by adding this special effect, we can already get this effect. So we're just gonna create a adjustment layer. Then I'm gonna add a CC lens to this. Now make sure this size is quite large. I would say maybe around 180 or something. And let's see our movement now. As you can see, it looks way more cool. What I do want to also add is basically make sure that at the end it will keep moving a bit. So let's add that to it. And then let's go into the curve editor again. I'm just gonna zoom in a bit, and I'm just gonna make sure that this will basically keep moving what we did before to something like this, maybe even higher, I would say. Let's drag this handle out a bit, something like this. Perfect. And then you will get something like this. Drop a comment if you want to see part 3. Also check the description for my masterclass and the discount code to Submagic. Don't forget to subscribe. And then I want to say thanks to everyone that joined. We're almost at 25,000 subscribers, which is insane. I'm so grateful for everyone that joined and also all the support for the channel. I'll keep making these videos and then I'll see you next time.